Hi everybody, thanks for joining me today on Getting Real with Debra. One day at a time, one layer at a time. Today I have a special guest with me and I'm so excited to do this because you guys know I've been taking my layers off, but it's not anything unique to me, of course. And so I thought it would be fun just to share moments that, you know, come up in life. And I really appreciate Lisa being here with me today. Thank you, Lisa, for being here and joining me today. My first guest on my new channel.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah, and the reason that I invited Lisa, well, first of all, that I love her. We've been on Lisa and Spencer's property, and Spencer's been fixing the van, and he's that you guys came to Wyoming and took care of the toad, and so we met last year here in Pahrump.
Yeah, yeah. That was nice.
Yeah.
The races.
The races down the desert, through the desert on the telephone poles. We were sat there all day just watching them go by. But Lisa and I spent the day together the other day, or an evening, and we were going to do some fun things, and some things came up, and I thought, Lisa, this is perfect to share on taking the mask off and doing it one day at a time and layer by layer. So that morning, I was going to come by and I was going to meet Joe, your son, and you've said it's okay to share that he's autistic.
Yes, he's autistic.
So I was going to come by one morning before that, and we'll talk about Joe's thing in just a moment, but you said you called and canceled. Do you remember why?
Oh yeah, I felt like the house was kind of a mess, and I really didn't want anyone coming over with it like that. So
yeah, so we all do that, right? It's like, oh, nope, you can't see me how I really live. Yeah. I just did that on a video yesterday. I think it came up on the channel yesterday, where I was filming, and I'm like, I just put pillows over stuff to cover up stuff to film a video about being real. So I took the pillows off and everything. And so, and then one morning, then your son, he kind of faced the same thing.
Yep. Yep, he all of a sudden decided, oh no, I don't want her to come, and I didn't think the house was fine, I didn't think his room was like a mess, but he got a lot of anxiety about it, and so yeah, we ended up canceling again.
Yeah, but then he sent me the sweetest video, and it was so adorable. And so we're just sharing this because we wanted you to see a typical day of the layers that we all put on. And so I went to the library for the day, and that was really difficult for me because Robert wasn't going to the library. He took me into town, and I spent the day at the library. That wasn't the part that was difficult, but just asking, I had to impose on Robert to take me to town because we're down to the one vehicle right now. Then I had to impose on Lisa to come get me, and you know, we don't like doing that, right? I mean,
exactly.
This one, tell them how long you waited for a cab in Wyoming.
Oh, I waited almost 2 hours, and they still didn't show up. And
in Gillette, there are no cab services, and she did all of that because you didn't want to impose on me for a ride, and I gave you heck for that. You remember? And then yesterday, I'm all doing it, and I'm like, oh no, I don't want to. You know, I don't know why we all do that, but we do. We do. And I did go get her, by the way, at the hotel and brought her over to the house, and she canceled the cab because they weren't ever going to come anyway, and I didn't know she'd called a cab, and so thank you again for picking me up.
No problem.
And then I'm at the library. She's gonna, so on top of that, okay, I've imposed on 2 people for a ride, and she's going to pick me up. The library closes at 6 that day, and she was going to pick me up at 6. We were all set. We'd texted and confirmed, and she goes, yeah, I'll see you in a little while, and all of a sudden, one of the rudest people I've ever been confronted with was a librarian at the Pahrump Library. Comes over and bangs on my desk like at 20 till and goes, you need to leave, we're closing. I'm like, at 6, right? And I'm looking at my phone to look at the time, thinking maybe I'd lost track of time because I do that with my brain injury. And no, it was 20 till, and she says, yes, but we're closing. We've already made a couple of announcements, and I didn't bother pointing out that the announcements were that they were closing at 6.
Right.
And I said, well, my ride isn't going to be here till 6. And she goes, well, painters are here, and we need to close down. And I wasn't the only one left in there. There were like 2 or 3 other people. So I don't remember.
Yeah,
I called you.
Yeah, you called me.
I called you, and I had to say.
And I was like, they're closing early. What?
And so I felt,
it's not even 6.
I felt so bad, and you came after me, and I normally, this lady was so rude, I would normally file a complaint, but I'm a little bit scared to, because we have to go back in there. That's where we go to get our internet to upload and everything. But then you felt some shame because it's your hometown.
Exactly. And I actually know quite a few of the ladies there because Joe loves the library.
Yeah.
They're real good to him at the library. And so I actually went in the next day.
Oh, I did not know this. Y'all are learning this with me. I have not heard this.
Talked to them about that. And they did apologize to me, you know, because of what they did
and
to
see,
her.
now I'm sitting here with all this shame. I'm like, oh no, I caused all of that. And you know, so that's what I wanted to share with you. And just normal day-to-day interactions, the layers we put on and the mask we put on and the fear that we walk around with just in normal day-to-day interaction. And so now I'm feeling all this shame that Lisa went up there and stood up for me, and you know,
but I think a lot of us think, I think, like, I don't want to impose, but actually, Deborah, you asked me, I felt so much, like, honor, like, I felt like anything, you know, because I want to do that for you, and it made me feel good that you could ask me. So,
and that's the same things I told you in Wyoming. I was like, I'm right here. I've been missing you all day. You've been waiting 2 hours for a cab,
and that's how I think a lot of people are. They think, oh, I don't want to like put it on someone else or make someone else go out of their way. When actually, I'm very capable of saying no. You know, no, I don't have time to come get you. And if I didn't want to, I would just say, oh, no, I don't want to. And I've done that actually with you before where like, oh, well, I have a lot of stuff in the front seat, you know, I'll have to move it.
And we worked around it. We actually grabbed Robert's card and went running. So you're good about carting me around.
So, I mean, I try not to think of it as like I'm imposing on someone else anymore, because I realize that, oh, wait a second, someone said that to me, and I don't feel imposed upon it at all. I wanna do it. I'm like, feel so good that you had the courage to ask me.
So you take that, you're learning to take that of how you feel when people ask you, and think that maybe they're feeling the same way when you have to ask.
Exactly.
Good. Yeah. But it's always so hard when that shoe's on the other foot.
It is so hard.
So then I get kicked out of the library. I'm not kidding you. I literally got kicked out of the library, and I'm standing out in the dark because it gets darker now.
Dark and cold.
Dark and cold and windy, and I only have this jacket and for like, because Lisa then had to hurry because she was at home and doing things with Joe and everything, and thanks again. And so I was standing out in the dark in a closed, nobody else was around, and I, you know, I got it was like a little bit intimidating, and now I have to go back to the library. But I'll work on taking my own layers off and dealing with that, and dealing with it nicely and politely, but directly. And so then we finally hooked up. Yeah. And then I had to make the request to stop by a store, and she got a couple of things too, so it made me feel better. Yeah. And I have my laptop and everything with me, right? So we're about to go into the store. This is Lisa's hometown. She knows everybody. We're in the store, and she said like she knew the clerks. She knew people that came in. So this is her backyard, but I have my laptop and everything in the car, and I'm like, you're not going to lock the car? So she turns around and locks the car for me at my request, and we get ready to leave the store, and we go out, and what happened?
Oh, boy. I locked the keys in the car.
Because I got her all. She's like,
I never locked my car, my house.
Yeah, but she did it for me, and it was just one of those days where we were more than happy to suit up and show up for the other person, but to do that for ourselves, because then you were embarrassed that you had locked your keys.
And I would have done anything not to have to call Spencer to come rescue us, but I was like, I took the broom my butt. I had my arm in the window. Like, I'm like, I can get it unlocked.
Yeah.
Crawling under the car.
I know.
Thinking, oh, I might have the spare under there still. That's embarrassing. I don't like having, even to call Spencer.
Her own husband. And so I said, Lisa, we have to do this. You have to be on my channel about removing layers one day at a time and getting real, because that was a beautiful example of a day for us to go through exactly what I want to share on my channel.
And it didn't hurt.
Oh, good. And she's so brave. I have to tell you guys, she's so brave to do this. She doesn't even like for anybody to take her picture.
No pictures.
Yeah, no pictures or anything. And she did this not only for me, but for you all, because it's about getting real and helping each other and being supportive and growing. And so thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
I'm like surprised at how easy it is to talk about it, but I think I see it so much, and because of my career, I see it so much with the families that I work with, the mothers and fathers that I work with, and that's one thing that I work with them on, is trying to find their authentic self and
being
layers.
Transparent and saying, oh crap, this hurts, but I gotta step into it.
Exactly.
Well, thank you. We hope you got something out of this, of us sharing our day of vulnerabilities with you. And I know things like that have happened to you. What mask do you wear when you're around other people that you don't expect them to wear, but you do it to yourself? Thanks for everybody for being here. We have to do one more quick thing. Are you ready? Okay. She doesn't know I'm going to do this to her.
Uh-oh, here goes.
So thank you, everybody, and we have enjoyed this, and we hope that we have given you some courage to remove some layers today. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Debra, take one day at that. Okay, we'll cut. All right.
I love the mask.
Yeah, pick a mask. Get a mask.
Pink.
Okay,
Pink's my favorite mask.
We'll both do pink then.